everybody, this is Scott Hudspeth with Agent Mastermind, and I'm so excited to have my dear friend Amy on the call with us. She's been here a couple times, but today I'm going to be interviewing her. If you guys haven't picked up her new book called Playbook for Success, I'm going to post the link down in the bottom right under the chat box so everybody can see it. And she's, correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, you're giving a free version. Is it a PDF download or what? Okay. Cool.
Yes, sir. That's all I can do over the internet.
That's all I know. Someday we'll be able to just hand people a copy. I know that will happen someday. Probably not in my lifetime, but someday we'll be able to virtually send that to you and just have it. Well, Amazon's getting pretty close, I will say. So let me just grab. I had to change something. So let me grab the link really quick for the link here, and I'm going to interview Amy about the whole Playbook for Success. But I'm also going to ask her a bunch of questions. And, you know, Amy, my first question is, what inspired you to write this book? I mean, what's this book all about?
Well, probably have an interesting answer for that. I think it was sharing what I knew through the trainings that I've done for real estate agents and doing more Facebook Lives and realizing that I had some experience to share with people. And a year ago in July, I made this Facebook Live post that said, I'm going to write a book by the end of the year. And that was in 2017. I didn't quite make it in 2017. And then I put it on my vision board for 2018. And it wasn't, and then you were nice enough to put me on, I don't have a copy, the Agent Mastermind book, which is right behind you. And I got to write a chapter in that book based on my buyer course, and it was fairly easy. And you know, I don't consider my book a literary piece of work. You know, it's more of a very conversational, down to earth, very basic playbook, basically. So after I did the book with you, I said, well, why not? Let's just do this. And Inga connected me with Mike, who made the process really easy. And it still was a lot more than I expected. And so I just decided to put it out there because it was something that I've wanted to do for quite a while. And it's really kind of like a bucket list item. So that's where I came from with it.
Awesome. So was it, you know, and for all those people out there that are thinking, man, I want to write a book and I got this story inside me, is it something like, is it harder than you thought, or was it gratifying? Like how did that feel when you, like, cause I know for me, I was like, when mine first came out, I was like, oh boy, like, it's like, you know, are people going to like this, or is it going to change somebody's life? Like, how did that, what would you say for somebody that's thinking about it that has a story inside them?
You know what? I think I mentioned this in the book. I actually was talking with my friend Anne before beginning the book, and she kind of helped me organize my thoughts in my brain. And I said, I don't really know what exactly I want this to kind of angle into. I know that I have all of these thoughts and ideas, and we kind of work together to Post-it note them out on a board and kind of come up with a vibe. And it came into this thing, and I actually didn't even title it until I read the first draft of it. Because I started to notice, and actually I was just the other night going back at some old documents, and I noticed myself using game plan a lot over and over. And so I was like, these are game plans, and this is the playbook. This is the playbook for how to win, and each chapter has like a game plan. So at the end of the chapter, it asks questions, or it suggests, you know, writing some things down to help you get clarity on, you know, whatever the content of that chapter was. So it became Beautiful. Just that. And I'll be honest with you, you know, I had a couple of early copies that I had given out to a couple of people just to get some feedback. And When I did that, I seriously, I definitely felt like I was standing in a room naked. I'm like, oh my God, I just gave you my book. Please
Vulnerable.
be nice to me. Like,
Yeah.
please be nice to me. And
Yeah.
then I felt the same way when it went out, because I was so grateful to have so much support. And I
Yeah.
guess I've earned that over time because all these people were so supportive and they hadn't even read the book yet.
That's awesome.
And then the comments coming back are unexpected. You know, you have all this stuff in your brain and you know
Yeah.
it so well. And sometimes it's the first time that other people are hearing it. And so they're having like light bulb moments. And when I get those back, like I just posted one yesterday from a lender that read the book, and he was like, when you said expect to fail, wow, that just gave me permission to fail, because in order to succeed, you do have to fail a certain amount of times. And that was just transformational for me. And so I love hearing what people get out of it or what sticks with them after they're done reading it.
It's funny you say fail. My motto is fail fast and fail often, because the more you like once you get over the I'm gonna fail, like it's just like I'm gonna do something that's not gonna work. Who cares, man? Get back up and do it again and again and again and again. So you mentioned, I love everybody has a different way to define success. And so you define success differently in the book, and you call it net life. And so I just love because success doesn't mean money, doesn't mean freedom. Like everybody's definition is different. What do you mean by net life?
Well, I think you've had Hank Avink on before, and you know him quite
Absolutely.
well. And he kind of brought the net life concept into perspective for me. I knew what it was fundamentally, but I didn't realize that it was a focus or a priority until he kind of shined the microscope on it, if you will. But I talk a lot about success in the book. I mean, it's called The Playbook for Success. And so what is success? I want to make sure that people know that success isn't just about having a big business, having a lot of people on your team, making a lot of money, because there are tons of people in this world that have big teams that make a lot of money and they're not happy. They're not happy.
Absolutely.
I mean, one of the largest real estate agents in California committed suicide. I mean, he had a thriving business and everything appeared to be going well, yet he wasn't happy, right? So we see the rate of divorce in real estate and in America in general. And I know what it's like. I know how what's the word? Tempting it is to work all the time in this business. And when you say yes to work, you say no to your family, you say no to relationships, you say no to hobbies and activities. Sometimes you say no to your health, a lot of things. And saying yes to work doesn't always equate to money. Sometimes you're spinning your wheels and wasting your time in the wrong place. So to me, success means having a thriving business and a rewarding life outside of the work. A rewarding life outside of work. And
got it. Love that. I got chills on that one, just FYI. I feel your emotion. Like I felt your emotion on that when you were saying that. So I appreciate, you know what I like most about you is you wear your heart on your shoulder and like it's coming through. And I think you put your heart and soul into this book. And so I appreciate you being just totally transparent right now on this, because it's not easy. And so I think once you are transparent, you let that stuff go, it just makes you such a, just feels so good, but it's hard, right? It's hard. So
it is, and we all, it is, it's almost like, I sometimes feel like real estate is like gambling. It's borderline addiction. It's like, oh, I got this lead, I got to call them. I got to take this listing. I got to go on this appointment. I got, and it's like, sometimes you just have to stop and ask yourself, what are my priorities right now? What's important to me? What's important to my family? What should I be doing? And sometimes it's not making money. Sometimes it's not servicing leads. Sometimes you need to do you. And so, net life means you're able to enjoy financial security in your business, freedom with the work you do, that's your passion, and quality relationships with people and friends. That's my definition of net life. And it is in it's
enjoyment
to balance it, but you have to be intentional about it. And that's really what the rest of the book talks about, is how to be intentional about your success and making sure that success isn't just
money,
a number in a bank account, because at the end of the day, that doesn't do any. You can have all the money in the world, but if you have no one to enjoy it with, no vacation, it just doesn't go anywhere.
What's the sense? Absolutely. I love how you put, you described the book as not how to, and man, this gives me chills too. And I don't know if you came up with this or whatever, but it's not how to, but why to, which I've never thought about it like that. But this hit me hard on this one. What do you want to explain that?
A friend of mine's Unloading shared that with me after she read the book. She said, this isn't a how to, this is a why to. This is why you do what you do. This is why, these are the lessons that I learned the hard way. This is, me owing the IRS $25,000 that I didn't have.
Been there 3 years in a row. I got audited, so totally been there. Yeah.
I feel like it happens to everybody in the beginning, and then it may happen to them every year, or they may figure out how to fix it. And these are the reasons and the stories behind why I've done what I've done to get where I've gotten. And you know what? It's hard to say no. It doesn't always feel great. But when you understand what the end goal is, it makes it all easier. And so the why to, not work with every buyer, the why to say no to things that are good but not great, the why to staying in your lane and not trying to be an agent for an investor and a short sale person and a commercial and whatever. It's just why you need to focus in. And it's I have these two kids, right? And they're 6 and 7.5. And when they ask me if they can do things, I say yes or no, and they ask why. So I think they've conditioned me to say why, because you can give an answer, but if they understand why, they probably won't ask the question again, or they have more clarity on the reasoning behind it. And so that's what I'm hopeful that this book will do to agents, is explain to them the why, because it's my why. It's the why that happened to me. And, maybe it can cut their, trial period or their failures, because they can learn from this and then not have to do it on their own.
Love it. So the why, not the how, but the why, which I think we always, Simon Sinek says there's the what, there's the how, and there's the why, and I think you just and so it's so, which is the same as the brain. I'm doing a course on that. So I think it's a big deal that that she brought that to your attention, because it is a big deal. So with this book, is this the result that you had hoped for from writing the book, or too early in the stages, or maybe it was a personal thing, like, man, I had to get this out there and I want it. Like, if I touch one, for me, it's like, if I touch one other person, I've succeeded. Is it the result you hoped for?
I think I'm still realizing the result of the book. My main goal was to have something in my hand that is mine, right? That was my first goal. I did that.
Yeah.
Game over. Now I'm realizing kind of like this second evolution is now people have it and they're reading it.
Yeah. Now you're like, oh, which gives me chills again, because I know what you're going through. You're like, okay, what message am I going to get? Or, so yeah.
And you never know what that message is. And so I really, I hope that it would help people. I hope that it would shortcut learning for people. I hope that people will read it or share it with others, because, you know, in the first chapter, I asked for permission to be honest. And I say that being a real estate agent isn't the right thing for everyone. It sounds awesome and fun, but it is not easy. And you really have to be focused, and you have to have your whole tribe behind you. You know, one of the other things I thought was kind of crazy about the book is my cousin sells medical devices, and she just had her second baby. And she read the book, and she was like, oh my gosh, I think every working mom should read this book. And I was kind of surprised because it's a real estate book, but she said it's truly applicable to most sales and or entrepreneurs. And I also did an Audible, which is an amazing experience. So I read the book in a studio, and it'll be out on Audible as soon as it's approved.
Good for you.
And the guy that was my producer owned the studio. And he had to sit there and listen to me read the entire book. And after, we would take a break every chapter, and he would be like, I can't believe how much this applies to me. I went through that same thing. I did that same thing. That happened to me, you know, and he owns a recording studio. So I guess I give real estate examples, but they all can apply pretty well to a number of disciplines, which I didn't expect or plan.
So, well, okay, I've had chills that whole thing. So you're not only like I think that I mean, I know it's very new, the book is, and a lot of people haven't read it, and you know, but I think just having your friend say that, and I applaud you on reading the book. I said I just didn't have time to do it, so I didn't do it. I had someone else read it for me, which shame on me. I should have just taken the time and experienced but it was fun. So I might go back and do it. You know, it's got to be so fun. Yeah, it's like, man, oh God, I gotta do what for how many hours? And you know what I mean? It's over and over, and they got it. So I applaud you heavily on that, of taking action on that, because like now you got your voice out there, right? Get your voice out there, you got the book out there, you're like, oh my God, it's like people are gonna like this, and now you already have affirmation that not only are you affecting real estate agents, but you're also affecting business owners in general. So who knows, like maybe, I mean, who knows where you're gonna be in 12 months? You know what I mean? Like, it could be epic. You could be speaking for dentist office, chiropractors, like who knows what, you know? I don't know why I picked those two, but pretty cool stuff. Congratulations on that. What's something that you didn't expect from writing this book when it comes to putting your story out there? Like is there something like, well, you already told me one thing, you know, like other business owners, but what else did you not expect? Or is there anything else that said, man, I can't believe that happened or this happened? Or
well, you know what? I honestly didn't plan on doing an Audible version. But I met with a woman that was connected to me, Karen Briscoe, and she encouraged me to do the Audible version. It's funny because I talk about vision boards in the book. I have a 10-year vision board, and then I had a 1-year vision board that I created in January. And on my vision board was a book. It was an Amazon logo to sell it on Amazon, and it was an Audible logo also. And but I actually don't know. I think I just wanted to one day have an Audible book. I didn't realize it was actually going to happen or be that easy to do. And it was. I think the thing that is surprising to me is just the messages that I'm getting from people. You know, I can't tell you how many books I've read, and I've probably never messaged or emailed the author.
Right. True story. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
I feel like
if somebody's going to take the step to actually send me a message, and maybe I come across relatable enough to where people feel like they can, and I love that. I love that opportunity to do that.
Very cool. Very cool. So I think the big part for me is, so in each chapter you have a game plan for the reader, which is really cool. One reader described it as like the cliff notes are the best ever. Which was that that's really cool. So you take a chapter and you go, all right, game plan, boom. So you want to talk about that a little bit? That's really cool.
Yeah, I'll just share with you. A game plan, maybe. I have this game plan on, let's see.
And why Amy's looking for that. So guys, Amy's a wealth of knowledge. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, just getting started in real estate, been in real estate for 15 years, can't, like, what do I do? Like, where should I start? Here's where I'm at. Here's where the market is. Like, whatever it is, whatever question you have in your head right now for Amy, she's a wealth of knowledge, and she's been on the class. She's taught different classes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to throw them out there, and I'll make sure that she answers them.
Absolutely. I love the questions. So there's a chapter in here called Stay in Your Lane. And funny enough, I illustrated an image in case anybody needs to know what that looks like. But on the game plan, I suggest get the book StrengthsFinder 2.0, take the assessment, read about your top 5 strengths, and absorb the information. So I'm recommending other resources. Be honest with yourself about what your strengths are. Look for others to complete what you don't have as a strength. Keep focused on working in your strengths and watch your successes multiply. And then actually in this chapter, there's a bonus, and I share my book list. So just things that people can do. I'm a very action-oriented person. My favorite mantra is implement now, perfect later. So I want people to take action, and I want to give them ideas of how to take action on something. We read books and we set them aside. Well, how can we get into practice with something and make something happen, right? So that's what the game plans are about, is, the down and the dirty of, now that you've read this chapter and you've learned this lesson, how are you going to apply it to your life? Here's how you can do it, or here's some ideas to make that happen.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you for doing the game plan. That's really cool. So, and she also provides other resources. So I mean, the cool part is, you've come so far. You have I got to ask, and somebody else is asking this, what do you do your vision board on? Is it like a board and you cut stuff out, or do you do Pinterest, or what do you do that with? Because I think that's so valuable to know where you're going, why you're going there, right?
Yeah, so I talk about this in the book. I started a women's leadership group 3 years ago. And each month, one of us would take a topic. And in February one year, one of the girls took vision boarding, and she asked us all to make a vision board and then report back the following month. I reported back, I'm like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. And it was a 10-year vision board. And so it helped me to see what their vision boards look like. So I appreciate the question, and I would be happy to share, mine. I just don't have it in this office right now. But what I did is I pulled different images. So my 10-year vision board was me having a teenager at that point. So I have that on there. I would be 50 at that time. So that's on there. I would have a 20-year anniversary. So that's on there. I had a picture of a public speaker on there.
Wow.
Somebody on a stage. I had a Hawaiian home on there.
Whoa.
Which is also on my 1-year board. What else? I had at the time, and this is another important thing, is to realize that your vision can change, and it's okay if it does. So at the time, I had the Keller Williams 7-level model as an image, because at the time I thought that's what I wanted, but I realized that that's actually not what I want, because I want a net life. So that is now replaced by an EXP kind of focused model, because that fits the family structure a little bit better for me. So it's still a focus. Growing a business and growing a team across the country is still a focus of mine. It's just not with, not the way that was showing. So it's okay if your vision board evolves. So what and I have a bunch of little quotes. So there's a Rocky Balboa quote on my vision board, and it's also in the book. And it says, it's not about how hard you it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit and how fast you can get back up. So I've got a few key inspirational quotes on there. And, you know, picture my family, different things like that. And so what I did was I used an app called Pic Collage. So basically you just upload the pictures that you want to put in there. So I pulled everything off of Google or the internet or whatever. I uploaded it to Pic Collage. It makes a collage of it. You can move stuff around that's more important to you. And then you can either just print a PDF of it. I chose to have like a big canvas printed. And it's a nice 10-year vision board that I'll have. And what I thought was extremely crazy is within 6 months, I started to see things happening on the vision board. And it was a 10-year vision board. So, you know, they always say we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in 5. So I'm hopeful that it's just a good visual reminder to remember what I'm working for, why I'm working for it. And to take it, you know, one more step, Scott, what I talk about in the book also is, you know, make sure your cheerleaders are aware of what your goals are and what your visions are. My kids know that I want to move to Hawaii. We did a Hawaii project this summer, learning more about it. They've seen my vision boards. They know. If your family and your biggest supporters don't know what your goals are, that's a problem. You need to make sure that they know it so that they can support you in it. And if your family is not supportive of you being in real estate or you being an entrepreneur, I'm going to have to say that you're probably not going to succeed. It's going to be very difficult to succeed if you don't have the support of your family in an entrepreneurial business. It's vital, really.
Yeah. How many, quick question for, and we got a lot of people here. How many people, and just put in the box there, the question box, how many people have a vision board or like a dream, what's the term for it? Vision board or dream board or vision board? Okay.
Either one.
How many people have vision board? Just put yes, no. I think it's so valuable. Am I in the right one? Yeah, in the questions box. Did everybody go to sleep? So no. Okay, cool. All right. No, it looks like most of the people don't. So Sue is saying very inspirational. So she put that out there.
Okay, so let me share something else with you. So I get these ideas, like they literally fly at my face all the time. So a couple weeks ago, after I had published the book, there's a bonus in here that's not quite ready, but will be this week, with this concept called Spark. Okay, I have a picture of Spark on my vision board from January. I didn't know what that was going to be. I didn't know what it was. I just knew of this idea of spark. And to me, what spark is it's inspiration. It's motivation. It's the thing that gets me excited, right? Spark. What is that? So as I was reading through this, I realized that we all, as salespeople especially, get rejected a lot. We have bad days. And it's not if we're going to have a bad day, it's when we're going to have a bad day, because it's going to happen. And you got to be prepared for that. So what I wanted to do was put together a place where people could go to turn their day around, to get some ideas of how they could be inspired or whatever. And so my, coach said, well, you need to write a blog. And I said, I am not writing anything else. I'm done writing. And so this day I decided, and I like to do video. It's so easy and you don't have to spell check on video. So I decided that I was going to interview some of the awesome people that I'm friends with, some of my tribe that have inspirational recommendations. So I started the Spark, which will be launched this week, as a way to crowdsource inspiration for people, all kinds of people. It doesn't have to be real estate agents. It can be anybody. And so I have 7 interviews ready to go. One of those interviews is on a vision board. And I interview my friend Tom down in Florida, and he shares his vision board that he created, and he talks about how things have changed and how it's evolved, and it's awesome. I also interviewed a friend of mine named Tressa, who took my listing course, and she has a recovery kit. And it's just a file on her phone. It's got songs, videos, inspiring quotes. And when she's having a bad day, she goes to it. So, you know, I'm collecting these stories, these ideas from other people, because I don't claim to know what inspires you, but I want to know what does inspire you, because maybe that can make a connection with somebody else and help them have a better day, or turn it around, or have a coping mechanism for getting through this. Because it is a hard business to be in.
Absolutely. Thank you. So Spark, and I was going to ask you what's next for you, and it sounds like Spark is coming right around the corner, or maybe already started. And is it going to be a Facebook group, or like how are people going to be a part of the Spark thing?
Yeah, so if you want to write it down, the website is gosparkyourselfnow.com.
Love it.
Go Spark Yourself. It's not up, I don't think.
Okay. It's not.
Now.
Nope.
Go Spark Yourself
now. Okay. Oh, Go Spark Yourself now. Okay.
The now in, because you know you can't get a normal website anymore.
It's up.
Okay.
Coming soon.
Okay.
Yep.
So coming soon. Right now, it's just the book information. On that page, it's going to have the video interviews, and then it'll have links to the resources that each person talks about. As soon as I fail forward and figure out how to make a podcast, I'm going to turn it into a podcast, rip off the audio, put it on there so people can listen to it in the car, you know, and resource back to the web page. So I just started that right before and between my groupie tour. And again, I'm just all about implement now, perfect later. Did I know what I was going to do? Not really. But I just got on the phone with a couple of friends and I said, give me 30 minutes, let's do an interview. And I'm just putting it together. And hopefully, again, it'll reach the right people that need the message, need the help, need the inspiration, need the motivation, whatever it is, because we all struggle with that kind of thing. And if there's a way to get past it faster, recovery time is everything, just like you know, the quote.
Very cool. So a couple questions. So so Spark's next. What? Anything else next for Amy? I mean, I guess one question I have for you personally is, what is it about Hawaii? Not that Hawaii sucks, because it's the one thing that doesn't suck, and I've never been there. So why? Like you can go anywhere. You're like, why Hawaii?
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I think it's beautiful. I've been there a couple times. I've been lucky enough to get to go there on in my previous career. I won a lot of trips there. It's the USA. Eddie Vedder has a house there from Pearl Jam. And
I love it.
And it's just what I envision as the kind of laid back lifestyle that I want to have. And amazing weather. See, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's not always awesome here. So
I didn't know you were that close. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Why did I know that? I thought you were on the East Coast somewhere. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's not really that much better, but
no, that's true.
Yeah, I have a fear of traveling abroad. So Hawaii is the most awesome place in the U.S., I think, and that's why I want to go there. You know, and you keep asking what's next. For a lot of people, this is going to be their first time getting to know me, the book.
Right.
And the book is going to open their mind to ideas and thoughts. And, you know, I talk a lot in the book about getting through the last shift, getting through the last, you know, hard patch in real estate. And honestly, I believe it's here, it started, and we need to be prepared and have a game plan. And so part of what's next for me is getting more agents to get prepared for that coming. And I believe that having a plan in place, you know, along the lines of the courses that I teach, I have a listing course that makes sure that they have everything they need to sell their listings, bulletproof the listing. And I take them through that. And then I also have a buyer course that helps buyers agents make sure that they're not spinning their wheels and wasting time with somebody that can't close at the end of the day. So those are investments that agents can be making to make sure that they will survive the next shift, because it's not if, it's when. It is going to be here. And and you know, I've been rereading the book Shift, one of the best books out there, hands down. And in the beginning of the book, you know, which I reread last night, he says it's the agents that have the skills and the confidence and the sharpening of the tools, the pricing tools, that are going to make it through the shift. They have to put in more effort. You know, I think a lot of agents right now in 2018, if they've only been in the business for 2, 3, 4 years, they've been sailing by. They haven't really had to sharpen a lot of things in order to be successful, because tons of people are buying and tons of people are selling, and you put a sign in the yard and you get 5 offers. That's great.
Yeah.
But we're starting to feel a shift. I'm getting phone calls about the shift. I'm getting that. And so I feel so glad to have a solution in the tools that I teach for the course to make sure that, hey, if you're taking listings, the last thing I want you to do is not sell one of them. So let me show you how to make sure you can sell them, because you know what? In the last shift, people were only selling like half their listings. Their incomes were a fraction of what they were used to. And so, and that happened to me. And I talk about that in the book. And so it's just, that's the next step, is invest in yourself, educate yourself, get as much training as possible. We do not have enough training in this industry, and we have a very low expectation for educating ourselves and for training ourselves. So
great way to put it.
You have to get out there. You have to be intentional about it. You have to spend your own money to get it. And it's not just CE. CE is a joke. It's a joke. You have to invest in, you know, the higher level trainings that are out there if you really want to, you know, grow and fine tune your business and become profitable, successful, you know, business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Always be sharpening your axe is the message I got out of that. Like, you can't just assume that I got it and I'm good. Like practice overcoming objections, practice overcoming like all that. Like you gotta, you know, body language. There's so many things we can better ourselves, and it's so evident that you continue to go down that road to help other people, not only for yourself but for other people. So I appreciate all that you bring to Agent Mastermind. I applaud you on I think you've accomplished everything but Hawaii on your vision board. So it might be time to redo the vision board, because everything you said, I'm like, okay, she did that. It's like, I know you enough to know that you've accomplished everything. So it might be time to throw that one out and and guys, on the right-hand side, I challenge you to do that, Amy, because I think like Hawaii's like, so after that, like you've like your vision board's kind of old school, right? Like get a new one. So
well,
on
the
right-hand side,
I'll cross the stuff off for you, and I'll show you what's left.
Perfect.
And then January is right around the corner, so I'll be working on that in November and December, so that I have my business planning done, and I'll be ready to hit the ground running in January.
I know you will, and I can't wait to follow your journey. So Amy's book, you guys can get a free copy if you look over in the chat section. I don't know if it's your right or left, but over on my right, I think it's your right as well, or depending on if you moved it. Down in the chat section, there's the very first link is a free download of Amy's book. The second link is the pic collage that she's talking about that she used to do her vision board. And then the third link that I would highly recommend is Spark. So go sparkyourselfnow.com, but it goes to, there's 2 links there, amyb.com/coming soon. You can opt into the Spark thing, which I literally love that idea. I think that's so inspirational, to say the least. So That's very cool. I think that's really cool what you've done, and I think I can't wait to see how big that group is, because I think we all need inspiration on a daily basis, especially from a high level from yourself. And I applaud you for putting that together. It's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. So it's funny because in the book I talk about good is the enemy of the great, and I learned that a couple years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. There's a lot of good ideas out there, and when you say yes to the good ideas, you're not having time for the great ideas. And I taught my husband that. So now he asks me, is that a good idea or a great idea? And so I told him about the spark, and he was like, is that a good idea or a great idea? And I said, honestly, I think it's a great idea, because what's the worst that can happen is another quote in the book. What's the worst that can happen is I'm spending a little bit of time every week with other people who are sharing with me the ways that they get inspired. How is that a bad idea?
It's a great idea. Huge.
So I'm interested, and I should, now realizing that on the Go Spark Yourself page, I should put a contact form in case you want to share a spark with me. We can get you on an interview, or in case you, want to participate in any way with more sparks, or make any suggestions of sparks that you're looking for, or different challenges that you have that need to be addressed. So
love it. Can't wait to get your podcast going. I heard that coming. So I did hear that. It is recorded. So yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah, excellent. So Amy, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all you've done. Congratulations on the book. I'm so proud of you for taking action. That's the hardest part, is just taking action and going, man, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be good, bad, ugly. Like, you just don't know. But I applaud you, and there's no way it's going to be bad. I think it's amazing already. And I think I would love to literally come back and go, okay, Amy, like when I say what's next for Amy, like I think that's going to change in the next 90 days to 6 months, because I think you're going to have a lot of stuff going on. You've already started speaking, which is really cool. And somebody was on here that said they met you at the event not too long ago. So yeah, you're already out there doing that. So I think, man, some big things coming up for Amy, and I'm just honored to call you a friend and hope to someday meet you real soon. So
yeah,
thank you for being here.
Better meet in Fort Lauderdale. I think that's a good idea.
That is a way better idea. And the door's open. So, I'm down there the end of October through the May. So
that sounds good to me. The other thing I just want to mention before we go is I appreciate the opportunities that you've given me to be here. I just believe that you never know what you're going to connect with, right? So a mutual friend of ours, Hank, connected me to you. I've been able to give some great, training. I was then connected with Inga. And then one day she just said, do you want to be part of this book? And I didn't even know what it was, but I said yes. Right? I didn't have to analyze it. I didn't have to think about it. It was just an opportunity, and I said yes. So I think too many of us overthink things. We just need to go with the flow. We need to say yes, see where it takes us. That took me to writing this book. This book took me to Spark. I don't know where I'm going to be, right? But if you keep an open mind and you're willing to consider all options, you never know where you're going to end up.
Yeah. So is it good or is it great? That's the biggest takeaway that I got from this. I mean, there's so many takeaways, but the one thing is, because I think we every single day get thrown at us 1,000 things, and we got to go, should I be doing this or should I be doing this? And is it good or is it great? So I think that was a huge lesson for me. And believe me, Gary Vee said it a couple years ago. He goes, you got to somehow, way, shape, or form find a way to say no to everything coming at you. Because like you said yes to a couple things that have led you to where you're at, which is good. But you could have said yes to a couple other things that could have led you down a different road. So it's just, I guess having that vision board is really, really a big deal, because that'll help your goods and great ideas. So congratulations on everything that you've brought to Agent Mastermind. I applaud you. Sincerely appreciate you just putting yourself out there. I felt the emotions today, and that's a big deal, I think, for a lot of people. I think that's the hardest part for people to just let go and put your emotions out there. So I applaud you for that, and I thank you for that.
Thank you for all the opportunities that you've given me, and I'm thrilled to be able to give back. And congrats on your best-selling books and all of that. So
thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you so
I really
much.
appreciate you for creating this group. It's really helped.
You bet. You bet. Yes, and there's a lot of people saying I enjoyed the segment. So thanks, Heather. I appreciate that. And guys, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Same time, same place, right here next Tuesday on Agent Mastermind. We'll see you guys on the web. Take action, as Amy has done over and over and over again, and we'll see you guys on the web. Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.